All right, a 75-66 triple overtime loss. Back and forth, obviously, throughout. Starting with triple overtime, and then we'll work backwards. What was kind of the difference there, where you guys had one field goal there in that session?
Yeah, I mean, you know, they were getting kind of winded, as we were too. Yeah. You know, they were eating a lot of clock up. We were letting them eat a lot of clock up. It is what it is. We right there at one possession game, we were going to let it get down to under 2 minutes. But to start with, in the third overtime, the first three possessions, we had 3 straight turnovers. Can't happen. You know what I'm saying? Especially in games like that. First 3 possessions, 3 turnovers, and that just put us in a hole. So when we got in a hole, it was just hard to come back from a team like that.
Yeah. Double overtime, you come down the floor with 10 seconds left, down by 5. Mm-hmm. Get a 3 from Nate. They turned it over, and then you get a let from Jaden.
Right.
I mean, obviously your guys kept fighting there when that was a pretty dire situation.
Yeah, and it was good. It was good we had a timeout. I was debating on calling a timeout with about 30-some seconds left, but I saved it just in case. Worked out in our favor in that situation. But called the timeout after Nate hit the 3. That put us in a situation. You know, that was one of our 3 plays that we go to baseline out of bounds. If we're ever in that situation, that's always wide open. So obviously we don't run it through the course of a game, but that's one of ours that we go to. So we executed perfect.
Yep. And Jade had actually tied it in the first overtime as well. And on a night that, I mean, he had 1 point through 3 quarters. I mean, he impacted the game other ways. But for him to end up, I haven't added it up, but yeah, I'm sure he was in double figures by the end. And on his senior night. So, you know, how did you assess his contribution?
I'm gonna tell you, they defended him very well. They did exactly what they needed to do. You know, he was jammed up all night, and you know, whenever he gets like that, it's hard to kind of snap him out of it. But you know, he still defended hard. He still played hard defensively, even though the offense side of the basketball was not going his way. Before, you know, games of this magnitude, for your best player to you know, struggle, I ain't gonna say not produce, not perform, because he was trying, you know, but to struggle, that's just a tough situation for us.
Yeah. And then at the end of regulation, they tied it essentially at the buzzer. But before that, Amari had hit a big shot going end to end, obviously, and he had a big game for you throughout.
Yeah, I'll tell you, Amari, you know, lean back to last year, you know, remember in the second round of the playoffs against Sanderson, he hit the big shot to put us in overtime. You know, he's constantly made big shot after big shot after big shot, big play for us. So, you know, I'm comfortable late game situation, ball in his hands. He does tend to make good reads, good situations. He was also the one who made the pass to Jaden to send us into the third overtime. So, you know, late game situations, I do trust Amari. He's one of the guys that we've leaned on heavy this year, and he's been playing very well as late.
From up 6 at halftime, did not have a good third quarter, and by early in the fourth, we're down 9. And so, I mean, 71st has that lead and momentum, but you guys flipped it back. So how did you come back in the fourth quarter?
You know, we started out the third quarter, you know, 2 straight turnovers. They got 2 straight offensive rebounds. They had 5 when we were up. I'll tell you this, we were up 1. They cut the lead to 1, and all of a sudden they had 5 straight possessions without us touching the basketball. Yeah. You know, 4 straight offensive rebounds. They just put us in a bind, and then they hit that big 3 and put them up by 2. So, you know, it's just a tough. That was a tough go at it. Jaden was in foul trouble pretty much the whole first half. You know, he fought through it. He lasted through till the third overtime. So for him to last that long, you know, he played pretty smart for us, but it also put us on our heels. And you know, I'm not going to talk about officials, but it should have been called a little bit tighter, you know, with the chaos going on. And but it called as loose as it was for him to foul out. It's just very unfortunate.
And then this was obviously a big game standings wise, tied for first coming in, and. Now they haven't clinched anything yet because you both have 2 games left, but this was essentially for the title. So if form holds from here, so where do you guys go from here now in second place?
I'll tell you, you know, my message to my team was listen, outright conference championship could be out the window right now. That's in their hands. But what we control is the number 1 4A seed in the playoffs. We got to go into Thursday night. Tomorrow's going to be a light practice. I'm going to have to save some legs, get our legs right for Thursday. And I'm telling you, we cannot drop the ball these next 2 games. Purnell's going to be senior night. They're going to come out firing. They always play good on their senior night. They do some crazy stuff. So, go to Cape Fear. We finished on the road twice. So, I've seen crazier things happen. We just can't drop the ball these next 2 games.